So my name is Corinna Bench, and I am the co-owner of Shared Legacy Farms, which is a 400-ish member CSA vegetable farm, certified organic, out in Elmore, Ohio, which is in Northwest Ohio near Toledo. And we are in our 13th season right now of doing CSA. We grow all kinds of vegetables. My husband is the production manager, farmer manager, and I run the sales and the marketing and the customer experience and management side of the business. We started using e-commerce platform about 3 years ago when we decided that we wanted to try and capitalize on increasing our sales from other people out in the community, but also our own CSA members. What we found is when we created a store, the people that were actually buying from the online store were our CSA members more so than the outside community. So they are actually the people that spend the majority of money inside of our store, which I just found really interesting. So we use it now as a place to offer additional products besides what comes into their CSA box. So if they want to have an additional bunch of carrots, we'll let them do so, kind of pack out their share even more. So we also use it for things like bulk sales for corn and tomatoes and cabbage, and we also do like farm events that might cost money. Those kinds of things go in there as well. Okay, so this is a view of the store that we created with Local Line. And you can see that I have the ability to create a different banner image at the top, and my primary information for how to contact me, which is the most important information, is easily found at the top. You can also put your profile picture for your family. They have sort of 3 different tabs here. The products is the section that loads first. That's kind of the default. Then there's an about page, and there's a place where you can put photos of your farm as well. So it almost functions like a mini website page in a way if you want it to. Okay, so then these are some of the things that are currently for sale in our store right now, and I'm just showing this to you so that you can see kind of how it looks. You'll notice that it is shown in alphabetical order. So you get a clear picture. When you create the item, you get to put these images in there. You get to decide what you're going to call it, and then there's the first part, like the snippet of the product description, is showing there. So I always try to pay attention to what I put there to entice them. It'll also, this is important, tell you how many are remaining. I don't know if all e-commerce platforms do that, but I do like that because it can create an element of scarcity and make someone, especially if this number's kind of low, make someone decide to get that in their cart right away. So if I want to put something in my cart, I can just come right here and start clicking on the plus button, or take things away, or I can actually click on the product itself, and it will tell me more information about it, and then I can add the product here as well. If products are sold out, I actually have a lot of other things that I was selling. Once they're sold out, they no longer appear in the store, so that's also important. I also just finally want to mention a couple of things here, that you can create what are called categories, and they will show up. So if I want to have one that's called herbs or fruit or meat, I can create those categories. Right now it's showing all products, but if I just wanted to see the vegetables, I would click on this, and then it's going to show me the things that I have categorized as such. So clearly you can tell that I forgot to categorize the hot banana peppers as a vegetable, so that's why it's not showing up now. Whoops, I'll go change that. But yeah, sometimes that's helpful for customers if they just want to see like CSA products, right? That could be a category, and then they can just see what are the different products there. And there's also a search bar. Okay. All right, so we had to do a little funky incognito switch there for a second so I could actually show you how this works if you were to place an order. So if you wanted to, let's say, put a bushel of corn into your bag, notice that I just clicked that plus button, and now it's put it over here into my cart. So I can kind of keep a running tab of the things that I'm adding in there. And once I'm ready to check out, let's just say that now I'm done, I'm going to hit checkout, and it takes me to the checkout page. So first I have to create an account. So it's assuming that I'm new to the platform. So this is where I need to enter my email address, my password, your first name, last name, etc. This is that confusing part I told you about, the business name. If you enter that, then sometimes that shows up on the invoice that really confuses people, your address and so forth. So when you, this kind of first step is what takes you through the process of like creating an account with Local Line, and all first-time users have to do this. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick tour of the back end of Local Line, just in case you guys wanna see how it's set up. You'll notice along the top bar here, this is the stuff that organizes it for you into the different categories. So you've got your home page where I am getting all of my updates, so I can see who has purchased, but also who has viewed my product catalog. So maybe they didn't actually purchase, but I can kind of see who are the people that are in there right now taking a look. Over here on the left-hand side is a quick snapshot view of how many orders we've received this month, how many customers, how many products, etc. Along the top end here are all the different ways that you might need to interact with the software. So let's start with my store. This is where I would go whenever I need to add a product. So you'll see that all the products that I've created are listed, and they are listed alphabetically. So let's take a look at one right now, the bulk corn bushel bag. And I'm gonna hit edit. You can kind of see what it looks like. So I'm able to change an image by clicking on this box. That's where I upload the image. You give it a name. You tell people what's the price. There's a whole bunch of suggested descriptors here that you can use. You're not able to put your own in here. That's sometimes a bummer. There's sometimes like where I wish that I could name it myself, but not always an option. If it's taxable, you click that there and you set that up in the settings, what the tax rate is. Here's where you can add the different categories. Like you have to create the category somewhere else, but this is where you would categorize things, and then the product description. I can very quickly change the number of products in the inventory right here. And I can also, I use this button a lot. So if the product is no longer available in the store, then I'm sliding this to the left or to the right and then saving it. All right, so this is where you can edit your products. If you want to just make a new product, you click that plus button and the same information appears, but now you have to add it all in, if that makes sense. You can also download and upload products. I've never used this feature. I always do them individually. And here are the different categories that I currently have made. If I want to make a new one, I could just click on this button and add it. Okay, so that's kind of the quick view here of how this works. So if I want it to be visible in the store, like you can see all these products were made, but they're no longer visible. I just have to go and click edit in that software and then just hit the visible, this non-visible tab like I showed you earlier, and that's how they show up. There's something called catalogs in Local Line where you can create different types of, almost like different types of stores for different types of customers. So if you have a different price list for restaurants, then you would create a separate catalog for your restaurant people. If you have a different pricing for wholesale, they get their own catalog. And there's a way for you then to send out automatic emails to all your customers in those different catalogs each week to let them know, hey, the store is now open again, here's the new information. And then, you know, a restaurant is seeing the catalog pricing for the restaurants, and the CSA customers are seeing pricing for retail. I only use one catalog right now, but that's a really powerful feature for you if you have multiple outlets and you want to send them all to this one place to place their order each week and, you know, make one huge pick list out of that. That's a really powerful feature of this particular e-commerce store. This is the store tab is where I'm going to set, I can actually go view the store, share the store, create my photo gallery, online payments. So if I want to set up online payments, you can see that I'm using Square. I tell them what my currency is. This is where I would do that right now. So you're able to connect with either Square or Stripe. Payment options. This is kind of a new feature as well, that you can just click the plus button and create a new payment option. So you'll see that I have a couple right here that I've created. You can even like create one that says Snap Payments, and then they would just bring that to you when they actually pick up. So that's kind of a new feature that I like. Okay, let's move along the top here. The delivery section. This is where you can set up your pickup sites or your delivery plans. Now, I'm not going to be able to talk much about delivery plans because I don't do delivery, but it does have the ability to create delivery plan if you have that kind of a system where you need to deliver your products to your customers. So we use the pickup locations one. And so we're just clicking the plus button to add a new location. You can see that let's take a look at this one right here in Perrysburg. That's our biggest one. So you set the location name, address, and you can say things like has to be a minimum purchase. You can add a pickup fee if you'd like, if you're going to do pickup. What's the minimum that you're going to charge, ask people to purchase. And then this is powerful. So I do go into this every single week. The order lead time. So this is the amount of time that you need to process the order for that location. And I set mine for 44 hours. I know that's like random. But that's just because of when we actually harvest the product. So we have the farmers market on Saturdays, for instance. I can't have somebody order something on Friday night at 8 p.m. and expect me to quick run out after dinner and package them 2 bunches of carrots as a pre-order. So I have to create some kind of a stop time where they can't do that. We harvest for that on Friday. So I need to have that pick list ready by Friday morning. So the cutoff time for the Saturday morning market is actually, kind of like the night before. It's like Thursday night. So that's where that number, you have to kind of figure out what that is. This is a fun feature. So you can either, the availability chart, you can either say, hey, this product is going to be, all my products are available weekly, and just set that. I actually do the monthly setting, and then I go in and specify a specific day that they're going to come and pick up that product. When I first started the software, I didn't do this. I just had it set as weekly. And what ended up happening is that when someone goes and orders your product in the checkout process at the end, they can designate, their pickup site and the pickup date. So they can look at the whole month of August and they can see that, oh, this site's on Thursdays. Oh, I want this product in 2 weeks, not this week. And so that, so they were doing that. And then I would be printing out orders 2 weeks later, and I would see this order for some product that I no longer had available growing in my fields. And I was confused, what's going on? Why is this happening? And that's when I realized, oh, I can't set it for weekly and give people the ability to, have a pickup 3 weeks from now. So maybe that's possible for some people with their products, but with us, it's just not. So I had to move to monthly, and this works really well. So every week I come in here and I move this down to the next week so that this is the only day that appears for this pickup site as an option. Hope that makes sense, but that is, and then here you can create a custom checkout message. So this is kind of a ninja piece. So that's where you set up all your deliveries. And then these are the ones that are going to show up during the checkout process for the customer. They're going to see all of these different options. It's one of the things they have to do before they can check out is tell you which of those locations they want. And if the location is passed, that window is passed to order, it will not even show up as an option in the checkout window when they go. That has been a little bit of an issue for our customers, a training moment, because sometimes people go through the whole process of putting things into their cart thinking that they can, get it at a certain location, and then it's not showing and they don't understand why. And it's because they're ordering, outside of the window. They've already missed the cutoff time. And then I have to explain to them why their pickup site isn't showing. And I have to tell them, sorry, we've already harvested for that. So you missed it. You'll have to try again next week. Okay. Customers, the customers tab up here is just where you can learn all about your customers. So if you want to I use this mostly for a customer search. So I will come into here into the filter by customer, type in the name, and it'll show that person's entire history. And I can kind of look at, what's their email address and what have they been ordering, or if they have a question about an order, I can go back and look at individual invoices. You can also upload your customer list, which I do every couple of weeks. And then I take the email list and add it to my email software and tag them as a store order customer so that I can be emailing them. Let's see, then there's the orders tab. So this is where I also spend a lot of my time, where I'm going in each week to get the pick list. So let's just say, for example, I did this morning. I will I could sort by customer, I could sort by date, which is what I usually do. So this morning, what I had to do to get the pick list for the Toledo Farmers Market site is I picked by delivery date. So I sort by delivery date, then I come over here and tell them what days So I'm wanting the farmer's market is on the 29th in this case, so I'm telling it that's what I want, and all the different locations. Actually, I just want the farmer's market location for that day. Okay, so now it's actually listing all the customers that ordered, not a ton this week, but then I would just click download this pick list. And so I'm gonna click the summary pick list, and now you're gonna actually see an example of what this looks like. Okay. So this is what the pick list actually shows up as on Excel. It downloads as an Excel document. So I can tell very quickly like what the name of the product is, how many total bunches there are, and I'll print this out and pass this on to my team. So I just want to kind of show you what a typical report looks like. Okay, and then another thing that I will often do is I might want to download the invoices for that particular product. So let's just say I'm going to download the single-sided. I'm going to click on my PDF. And this is what pops up. It's just the individual order. So then I can print this out and like staple it to my orders if I want. So I just kind of want to make you aware that that's really slick. That does use a lot of paper. So I have over time learned how to use the download orders. I do this now instead, and it creates an Excel document, and then I'll just build the orders off the Excel document, which is much smaller, and I just kind of cut them into slips. Okay. So this is an example of what that would look like. And so I'll just end up printing, I'll like remove the cells that I don't need, and then like print this page instead, and then cut it into slips. I don't know, like for example, I would cut it here with a scissor, and then that ends up being my packing list. I don't waste as much paper that way, but I wanted to show you what this kind of report looks like, so you can see that by customer now, like what did they order. It's a similar look to the invoice page, but just in an Excel document. So that's sort of the orders tab where you can get all that information. And then finally, I'm just gonna kind of bring you over here to this little section on the right-hand side where you would edit your account. This is kind of where you can switch your settings. And so sometimes people are like, well, how do I turn my store on and off? And it's super easy. Like if I don't want people to see the store anymore, like actually right now I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna click this button. So now the store is no longer viewable. If somebody were to type it in, sharedlegacyfarms.com/store, they would be taken to my store, but it would say the store is closed. So it's just a real simple on and off feature. This is also where you can set your email notification settings. So do you wanna receive a message, or do you wanna get an email anytime you get a message, or anytime an order's canceled, or anytime somebody looks up a product? And that gets a little tedious. I don't want to be barraged with emails. So I'm very specific about, hey, when I get an order, I want to be notified, right? So I've kind of clicked the things that matter to me. That might be something that you want to do. There's a whole bunch of other things in here that like Quickbooks Integration is offered if you upgrade your account. This is where you also set your product sales tax to a certain percentage, so it automatically takes that out when people purchase. You can also add multiple users who might be using this software if there's more than one person that's administering it. And then of course there's the managing your subscription and your billing section. In the payment options, if you wanted to add a payment option besides credit card, you would just click on this plus button, and they have some that are already pre-filled, like cash, check, e-transfer, but let's say you wanted to do EBT or SNAP. This is where you would click other, and then you would just give it a name, and it would show up as a payment option down here. You can include your payment instructions like, hey, when you show up in person, hand me your senior coupons or whatever. Or senior coupons are expected upon retrieving your product. So I just want to make you aware that that is also in here. And then there is no percentage fee that's taken out of purchases by customers. Unless you're using a credit card, that will obviously be taken out. But Local Lines just charges a monthly fee to use their software, no matter how much product you move through the store.